Calling the meeting to order this April 14th, 2026. This time we will have roll call. Miss Amanda?
Mr. Anthony? Mr. Westmoreland?
Present.
Miss Abrams?
Here.
Miss Dominguez?
Present.
Mr. Duncan? Mr. Moore? Mr. Piazza?
Present.
Miss Richards? Mr. Toller?
Here.
Mr. President, I'd like to put in the record that, was it 3 of our members are at a conference along with the superintendent? Just want to put that as a note, that they're not really absent. They are serving.
Magnet School Conference. All right, I'm going to ask Miss Robin Abrams and ask everyone to stand and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Y'all. This time we'll consider approval of the school board minutes for March 17, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Piazza, second by Mr. Toller. Any discussion? No discussion. We call for vote.
Mr. Piazza?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Miss Abrams?
Yes.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
Miss Dominguez?
Yes.
All right, moving on, consider approval of the DRC committee minutes from March 17, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Dominguez, second by Mr. Piazza. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for a vote.
Mr. Piazza?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Miss Abrams?
Yes.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
And Miss Dominguez?
Yes.
All right, now we'll move on to academic update. Our want recognitions. Dr. Fussell?
Good evening, board members. And we're going to do the recognition a little bit different tonight because we're going to start with the video. But I just want to remind everyone and anyone watching later, our Once program was a new initiative this year. It's for kindergarten students only, and they get 15 minutes. That's the goal. It can go up to 20 minutes. Sometimes it's a little less of foundational reinforcement every day from a Once instructor. And 7 of our Once instructors are being recognized tonight. We have a few of them who couldn't make it, but before we start the video, I just want to say, and some of them have their family members here, we did not force anyone to become a Once instructor. We put out a call of, hey, who's interested in doing something new, maybe a little, different, a little scary, but who's willing to dip their toe in with us because there's extra training that goes on with it. There's your role looks a little different as a paraprofessional. And so we had many of our pairs that reached out and said, we're very interested in doing this. And our implementation of the Once program is only as good as the people that are here tonight that we're gonna talk about, we're gonna recognize. So what you're gonna see here, it's a 4-minute clip. Once put this clip together of just the instructors that we're recognizing tonight. So you're gonna see the students that these Once instructors work with every day. You might not see their faces, but you're going to see the kids that they work with. And then I'm going to come back and tell you why we have 7 of them that are being recognized tonight. So if you'll play our 4-minute video.
Matt did snag a fish.
Good job.
Sam said, hand Alice that fish. Steve met trade the fish and leave Leaf.
Yeah, Lee.
C. Sail. V. Log. C. Snow. V. Mast. At last. Simpson. I know this rebuilt raft is safe. That is so mean, said
What did Eve just say?
that is so mean. I must free the dog and leave the cat. I said I know the smart trick. We can scare the dog and it will give us the seed. Evil Captain Rob sailed close to them.
Okay, what did evil Captain Rob sail, or where did he sail?
He sailed close to them. The captain roared.
That sounds oh.
Roared. Then Mom said, remember, it is great to have a boat like this, but it is love that will save this team. And farewell. The sparks jumped to the stick and made it glow. Alice held the stick and scratched her chin. We must investigate to see what spells this stick can cast. He waved the stick and a fog popped up over his head. Rained on him until he was drenched.
Very good. That was very good, Christian.
So those are kindergarten students reading at the level, and if you notice, it moves to comprehension. So they're not just reading, or once instructors are asking them questions. There's almost 200 cycles. Most of our kindergartners will not finish all of the cycles, so we're already looking at next year, but we have some that we've had to buy additional books for because they've gone further than what we projected in the beginning of the year. So now I want to tell you what's special about, of course, we have over 88 once instructors in our district. There are over 350 once instructors in the nation. There are 34 school districts in the nation. We're still the only one in Louisiana, but that's about to change because as people have noticed our data, and I think Ms. Stilley mentioned this last time, our kindergarten teachers already do a wonderful job implementing our Tier 1 curriculum with fidelity and high quality. What's happened with once is adding that on top of it, we've seen at least a 7% increase in the performance of our students at the same time as last year by adding this. That just ups the ante and it strengthens our students as they continue to move on. So out of 34 school districts in the nation, 350 once instructors, Tangi Parish School System has 7 once instructors in the top 10 in meeting the minutes with their students. That's fidelity, that's consistency, that means they're here, that means the student's here, that means they're not missing their time in order to get where they are. So we have 7 in the top 10. I mean, that's just amazing to me. Amazing to me. And so what I would like to do now is we're going to call our instructors up by school and ask them to come up so that we can get a picture with them. And then a few of them would like to share with you, those who are comfortable, would like to share with you a little bit about what they see, what the program's done for them and what they see it doing for children. So first we have Miss, I'm going to turn this way now so I can see them. Is that okay? From Champ Cooper, we have Miss Olivia White. And we have a for you with candy, because I know your schools gave you certificates, but we'll give it to you so you don't have to hold it at the end. From Spring Creek Elementary, we have 2. They could not be here tonight unless they came in, and I don't know, I think both of them had a prior engagement. Miss Amber Holden from Spring Creek Elementary, one of our top 10, and Miss Kaylin McDaniel. And I still want to recognize them. From Laranja Elementary, Miss Donna Gross, who could not be with us tonight, and Miss Jerry Lynn Sumrall, who you saw in the video. From Midway, we have Miss Susan Galafaro. And from Parent Early Learning Center, we have Mr. Kerry Ciatat. And I'm not sure who would like to come take a picture. Would any of our Mr. Westmoreland? Thank you, sir.
What up, go, Miss Lisa?
The important Jinko in the room. For sure. For sure.
Yes, sir. So before they say comments, if you are a family member or a school family member of our awardees here, if you'll stand up, because I know the time they put in is time they're not with you, or you're supporting them at school, so we want to recognize you. And whoever's willing, I know I have one willing person, at least. Mr. Ciatat said he would. If any of you would like to share.
Well, after working 35 years in the chemical field at Dow Chemical and retiring, I don't think I ever would have thought that I'd be doing this. But I have this lady that I've been married to for 53 years that I said, you can't just sit at home. So I started subbing. I did custodial. I did inclusion classes. And when this came about, it seemed interesting. I think I've learned more than the kindergartners have. You have to, excuse me, because I'm a very emotional person, but they make me a better man every day. Okay? I get more hugs, more I love yous than I get from my kids. As I tell them all, my kids are grown, my grandkids are grown. They don't need us anymore. These kids do. But one of the things I've learned the most, and I try to impart to them, is if you really stop and think about it, what would we be like if we didn't know how to read? Math is out the window, science is out the window, history's out the window, just keep going. Reading is an adventure, is what I try to tell them, and I not only try to make sure they're comprehending, but I try to make them see what they're reading about. I've come to know Alice, Matt, Sam, and Eve quite intimately. I always found it funny that they named the snake Eve, but we'll just leave that alone. But I will tell you this, kids are reading, okay? Not perfectly, but they're reading. That's amazing for a kindergartner. When I finished kindergarten, I knew my ABCs. That's it. It's a long time ago. I'll be 74 this summer. So it is an honor to do what I do.
Try to top that.
I'm not going to try to top it. I've been working in education for 39 years. The first time I taught a child to read was at Tanglewood Elementary in Central 35 years ago. And the baby couldn't read, and I just stuck with it. And the first time that baby said his first word, his world opened up. I have been in love with reading specifically since then. And I told my principals before we got once, just give me a reading lab. Put me with each student 15 minutes. That's all we need. But it's got to be every single day. And it's got to be consistent. It's not pulling and doing. And when this program came up and I was asked to apply for it, it's like, what? And my husband laughs because he says, you helped pray this program into being. And I told Nathan and them, the people that are over this, I really believe this is an answer to prayer. You guys, I have been working specifically with fourth graders for years. My kindergartners this year, and if you would have told me that I would have loved working with littles as much as I did my big kids, I wouldn't have believed you. I love being with these babies. I have kindergartners reading better. And we're not even finished with the year yet than a lot of my fourth graders. This program works. I hope we keep this initiative. I hope we bring it on. I hope we get a lot more. If there's anybody out there that's thinking about, well, because I was thinking about retiring and starting a tutor program because I love reading that much. I don't have to do that now. It's built into my job. And I'm telling you, if there's anybody out there who's considering, oh, I don't know what to do, please do whatever you need to do and come on as a once instructor. You won't regret it. It changes the lives of children because math is important, social studies is important, all of it's important, but if the babies can't read, and I'm telling you, they're reading. Investigate's just a small word. We have 5 and 6 syllable words that kindergartners are reading fluently. So I believe in the program. I love it. Thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Well, like they've said, I know your schools recognize you, but here's a little game on, challenge accepted, and some candy that y'all can take back. And thank y'all so very much.
Ms. Fazell, could you give us the video showed the significance in the little letters, big letters, what's silent, what's not? I mean, why was the letters different and the accent marks here and there?
If I could tell you what all of those things meant, I would have, I know it's how they know how to pronounce things. And by the way, all of our once instructors, they also get coached by a coach. So what's happening is they're recording the lesson, but these individuals get coached and they're watching our kids to give little tweaks. But it's amazing. The program's out of Stanford and it started there. And the other school districts they don't always make the commitment. We were talking about, if you don't mind me sharing, Ms. Summerall said, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Like, how is everybody not getting in this? Because it's still in the consistency, and also they also get scored, and they have some of the top scores. This data was only through March 18th, by the way, so there's no telling where they are now. But some of the other school districts only do certain students. They don't do all the students like we're doing, and they also don't do some of the other extra professional development and tutoring that we do. We have somebody come in and work with them. So anyway, thank you all, and thank you for sharing what you did about the program. And we'll see you back in May, I'm sure.
I need y'all to come do that at my house for me, because there were some words in there that I don't think I could have read.
Thank you so much.
But I do want to echo what one of them said about the fundamental importance of reading. Somebody said that their fourth grader doesn't read like some of their kindergartners. When I was a high school teacher, I had a junior that couldn't read. And that is throughout our school system, throughout the state. A lot of our youth cannot fundamentally read. And what happens is they shut down the farther they go. Because just like us, when we don't have a skill, it's harder for us to learn it when we get older. I applaud what y'all are doing for our young ones, especially in kindergarten, and setting that foundation and that eager to learn how to read. Guys, I bragged about the Once program actually probably 2 months ago. I was somewhere and I said, we have a program that is actually focused on reading, and I think we're the only one in the state. And that was just a tipping point for our school system that we are dedicated to help kids read, just at the funnel, just fundamental trying to get them to read. So thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all for what y'all do every day with them little ones. And there's a special place in heaven for y'all because the patience y'all must have.
All right, yes, thank y'all. Moving on to board actions, consider approval to award the bid on Laranja Elementary Auditorium renovation.
Yes, yes, and more yes.
Mr.
I believe I heard Ms. Abrams make that motion.
No.
I think I did. I think I heard
Not
Ms.
yet.
Abrams.
We haven't made the motion yet.
We're going to make it together.
All right, we had a very good response, and this is for a renovation. It will have full ADA compliance. The bathrooms that are in the basement are being brought up to floor level. It's going to have PAC units, window units, PTACs.
PTAC
It's going to have PTACs that we're doing with all of our facilities now. So we recommend accepting the low bid of Brunt Construction for $3,082,700.
It was the lowest qualified bid.
Lowest qualified bid.
Yes, make a motion.
I second.
Motion by Ms. Abrams, second by Mr. Piazza. Any discussion?
And we're just really renovating. We're bringing it up to code. We're bringing everything back to the nostalgia of the building. We're not.
A lot of it's repairing.
Right. But what I'm saying though is I know there was a lot of different talks behind the scenes, but we're just bringing everything back to code, repairing everything, and bringing the building back to its nostalgia look that it currently has now.
As much as we could do, yes.
Yep.
We're not changing anything on the outside of it as far as the integrity of the history of the building?
It will look the same from the outside,
Okay.
except for there will be PTACs.
Yeah, right,
Perfectly fine with that.
right, okay.
And there will be a wheelchair ramp on the side and on the back that don't currently
And no
exist.
big holes in the roof that's caving in, right?
No.
That's going to be taken care of? Okay.
So everyone out there
It's
that
getting
has
done.
been asking, it's getting done.
It's getting done,
Laranja
guys.
Auditorium is getting done.
Yeah. We still got to vote on it, but yeah, I think so.
Time frame? Is there a time frame?
Yeah, is there?
Do we have a time frame?
300 days.
300 days, okay.
So
300 days, Miss Lisa.
From notice to proceed?
Yeah, so it's going to be safe, just say 360 days to be safe, because it's going to take a
Say
little
a
while to do
year.
their contract, get their billables.
Say within a year.
Oh, contract's ready to go, so
Done.
300 days.
Call the vote.
301 days.
Any other discussion? Not, we'll call for a vote.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Ms. Abrams?
300% yes.
Ms. Dominguez?
Yes.
Mr. Piazza?
Absolutely.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
And since there's not a lot of us on here, anybody got any wish lists that we could do with only 5 members on the board tonight? Any wish
We
list
could
items?
make
we can
everything
add?
happen tonight.
Huh?
We could just do it all.
That's what I'm saying. We got all the power right now.
Unfortunately, there's nothing else on the agenda.
Dang.
So we'll start with Ms. Abrams, if she has any comments she'd like to make.
I'm telling
Nothing.
you.
We hope everyone had a great Easter and the Strawberry Festival went off. One thing I'd like to say, there's so much negativity out there right now with what people perceive as being at the festival this year, as far as how many guns were confiscated and all this kind of stuff. Well, I was there Friday, Saturday. I didn't go Sunday, but I was there Friday and Saturday. It was like it used to be, and Rose will probably agree with me. There was families out there picnicking. There was no trouble at the Strawberry Festival itself. The things you see on social media, don't believe it. I mean, yes, they did confiscate guns, but they did their job. That's what they were there to do, to make sure that things didn't happen. And, you know, I want to commend the Strawberry Festival Board for keeping all of our families safe around there, and all of the hard work and efforts that they did to make sure that security was in place. So many officers from across the state, whether it be with Louisiana State Police or others, did an amazing job to keep all of our kids safe that were on that fairgrounds. And I really want to just thank the Strawberry Festival for having a great event this year.
Mr. Toller?
A couple quick things. Of course, today we had a tragic event, a domestic event at one of our schools. And all that's still, the investigation's still playing out, but my prayers go out to the family. Prayers go out to the school. It triggers conversation, but that's not a good word. It sparks conversations at work today because people were asking about the alternative school. You know, and first thing out of their mouth was, well, that's the school where all the bad kids go. And I'm like, no. There's a lot of good kids that go to that school. And I told them about the school and about the renovations and about the things, and the misinformation that's out there is just plentiful. So anytime that we get an opportunity to explain to people the benefits of the alternative school, yes, a tragic event happened in front of our school, but that could happen anywhere, unfortunately, and too many times it does. But
It's not a detention or jail, people think.
no,
It's
it is
an
not.
alternate
It is
site.
an alternate site of education.
Right.
For kids that need an alternative way to learn. And they get the help they need there, and then hopefully go back and transition back to their traditional environment. So, but things like this will ignite those conversations and give us an opportunity to talk about it. Number two, I had one of the Civil Air Patrol students months ago stop me in a restaurant and ask if they could wear their stoles as part of graduation. So I reached out to Ms. Stilley. She put it forth to y'all. Y'all worked it out. I called Ms. Stilley back this week just to confirm that all that was in place, and it was. And then I called Coach Fussell on my end to make sure that it had gotten back to the principals, and it had. So I appreciate the flow of information from a student requesting something to going through the process and getting approved by the administration. Doesn't sound like a big deal to us, but when you're a student, especially in the Civil Air Patrol, when they spend 4 years in that program and they do great things in it, to them that is as important as a beta stole or honor stole or anything else. So I'm glad that this year we're going to be able to recognize those graduating seniors. When you see that camouflage or whatever it may be, blue, whatever it's going to be, that signifies the fact that they've been a CAP member in our program. So great things to see on that. Missing those that are at the conference tonight, but I'm sure we're getting recognized on the magnet side and also presenting, so good things happening there. And then last but not least, the world needs more Mr. Carey's. I wish he was still here for me for him to hear me say that, to think, and I don't know his whole story, but just seeing his passion, would love to see more retirees that whatever industry they're in, come back and help us in our classrooms, because they have a lot to offer. Whether they have an education degree or not, they have a lot to offer. And to see that passion, I would love for my daughter to have him as a teacher, whatever class it may be. So we have a lot of Mr. Carey's in our school system. We have a lot of those, male and female teachers that care and love. I saw one of them tearing up back there earlier when he was doing this. So hats off to all our teachers for doing a great job. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Toller. Mr. Mingus?
Well, first I will congratulate the Punchline Strawberry Festival for having a great festival. I don't know that the money was there. I haven't got reports. I do know Thursday night, family night, they did really well. There were a lot less people, but with an abundance of caution, the decision was made to shut the festival down this year at 8, which was already going to impact some of our funds for our organizations. But I think it's a great festival. I know there's always issues, but in today's society, it's kind of scary to go anywhere. So I enjoyed it, went back and forth, to the different events and visiting with a lot of our softball teams and the teams that we have that are supporting our schools. The people who, like the Charlie Landry group that gives thousands of dollars every year to our students, all of those groups, it's important. It's important that we support our local festivals. And I do hate the negativity. I did see some comments about the sponsorships that were offered, that people didn't like the sponsorships that the board chose to take money from, but that money goes into helping our community. And if you don't participate because you don't like a particular sponsor, you're only hurting your local community, in my opinion. And I felt like that was just a sad thing that some people wouldn't go for that reason, but I thought it was safe. I felt safe. I saw many, like Robin said, many families out there having a great time. The parade was amazing. There was so many different community law enforcement agencies there that helped us, and I really felt like it was a great thing. So I hope that everybody made money, and I hope that some of those booths will come back next year, because that money is important to our community. It's very important. So my other thing is, we haven't had a meeting since we all went to state conference, but for the record, that needs to be noted that all of our board members were able to go except Mr. Toller and Mr. Duncan, and we all received our credits for our CLUs, which is important. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
It was very cold.
It was cold.
Very cold.
I learned a lot, even though I'm a veteran board member. You know, you can always learn, and it's always good to go. So just for the record, make sure we get our credits listed, and we thank you for that, Miss Amanda, and that's good for me.
Thank you, Mr. Mingus. Mr. Piazza?
You know, I'm going to echo what Mr. Toller said about people coming at the end of their journey in their workforce when they retire to come and volunteer in our school systems, because the true statement is it takes a village to raise kids. And that means all walks of life. That man said he was in the plants. He was in plant work for a long time. Well, guess what? We got a lot of young men trying to get into the plants that I'm sure could use his guidance as they're going through that walk of life. I think now more than ever, what happened today, which I'm not going to drag on about, it was an unfortunate situation. My prayer goes out to that family and to the student. And to all the things that are being negatively said at the festival, the truth of it is, though, is our youth has changed, guys. There's a lot of problems going on with our young people, and it's going to take everybody working together to get it fixed. And I mean that in all walks of life. I mean, it's going to take people really digging deep and putting a foot down and helping these kids out to get us in a better place. I mean, we're behind because of COVID. There was mental health breakdown in that time period, we all know, where kids were suffering and had no avenue to turn. They didn't have their teacher in front of them. They didn't have that special friend that they could talk to because they were shut up. That we're still seeing that repercussion in our communities right now. If anything that we learned from both this weekend and from today is we have to be prepared and be proactive in what we're doing with these young folk. All the safety measures that we have put in place in the last 4 to 5 years showed today that we did what we needed to do as a board. And I can't be more proud of everybody that sits behind here and our administrative staff for putting that first when we could have put it last. And I hope we continue to get better at it, because it shows that we are going to need it. And that everybody, all that training we did, that the teachers knew what to do, the SRO knew what to do. I was very proud that's how we responded to it. But it's going to take a village to get these kids back to where they need to be. So if you're a young man, a young woman, and you're feeling a certain way, please reach out to an adult. Reach out to that special teacher, to that counselor, to the principal, to the vice principal, whoever you feel comfortable. If you need help with some emotion, please reach out to somebody and get the help you need. There's nothing to be ashamed of. We are all educators, and as you heard tonight, we do it for the love of you, because we love you and we love what you provide to our community. You're the next generation, and we need them to be healthy and on the right path. And like I said, I am very proud of the things we put together as this board. And like I said, I know some of my predecessors put some things too, so I want to thank them. But we have really focused on security, discipline, and trying to get consistency back across all campuses and all, both big and small. And I think that showed today that what we've been doing is working, and I hope we get to move forward with it even more.
Thank you, Mr. Piazza. We have Mr. Trent Anthony that joined us. You have anything you'd like to
Yeah,
say
just,
this time?
I will. So I want the record to reflect that I made it. So, but no, I haven't missed a meeting in my 4 years, and so I hated to not, to be tardy for this. But yeah, I did make it, so I haven't missed a meeting yet in 4 years. But, and
Did you get your tardy slip from the front
no,
office when
I'll
you
ask
came?
Miss Amanda to fill that out for me. There was no secretary back there.
Dang.
But no, I did just kind of want to echo what Mr. Piazza said. And one thing I noticed today, the public was really patient. And I think because they could see everything that we've invested into security and stuff, and how well everybody responded. In addition to that, including our administrative staff here, I got to hear a lot of what Mr. Jenko was able to comment on, and Chief Bergeron. So don't think we take this lightly, because this is kind of, I know Joey and I, when we got on the board, that's kind of was our major focus, like safety, discipline. Not saying that wasn't y'all's focus too, but that's kind of what we centered on. And I don't want to say it paid off, but we had a catastrophe today, and I don't know if it could have been handled any better. And obviously, if there's anything that we can do going forward to make sure nothing like that happens again, we'll invest time and effort into that also. So but that's it. But thank y'all for having me, and I'm sorry I'm late.
All right, thank everyone for coming out tonight. I think the once recognition, we're the only one in the state, and I think we're doing an excellent job, and I'm very proud of that. And we're going to have a meeting next Tuesday night will be our second meeting for the month of April. And with that, we're going to adjourn the meeting.